What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back. So, got some exciting news once again. I'm actually doing a double demonstration. I'm doing a double demonstration. I'm doing a double release. Both HakPak4 and Kjer are releasing at the same time. I'm going to be giving a demonstration for them at the same time. That was going to take a lot of memory. So, just to get myself into the flow, I had a few of my tech constituents hop on the demonstration with me, hopped in a call, and I did the demonstration. So that's what this video is going to be for you guys. I know it's a little different from what you're used to, so I wanted to make sure I explained everything and also let you know there's been a bunch of new updates. There's been a bunch of new updates to the website. I added a storefront for both Kjer and HakPak. You guys can get your licenses delivered straight to your email from my website, so you can make all your purchases and all your orders right from the website. So go ahead, check that out. Check out this video, look out the demonstration, see how to use it, see how it can help you guys out. Let your people know about it, your tech friends, or just anybody that you think would think it was cool, right? I know I would, if this was out, someone else made something like this before me, I would want to know, right? So check it out. Let me know, let me know what you guys think. Enjoy.
You know, streaming consciousness, you can never sell yourself short. Make sure everything's smooth in a line, you know? Yeah. Too much shit. Yo.
Now, first and foremost, I haven't tried to open terminal and things on here, so I'm not sure if it's going to show you. Like, you guys can't see my terminal right now, can you? Nope. Okay. Well, either way, I'm pretty sure I can switch windows. Now, everything can be accessed from my website. I know I haven't really sent many videos to you guys for you to review in the previous, so you guys would know, but everything that anybody would need to review any of my projects or anything like that, any information, any most of their questions can be answered by going to the library on my website. So that's where the download link is. That's where the documentations for both Kjer and HakPak are. So let's check out Kjer first, because I've already showed you guys a little bit about that. I'm sure you guys already have a few questions that you may have in the meantime, but all right, cool. So what I want everybody to see here is that you'll be able to actually download both Kjer and HakPak straight off the website right now. Like both of them are available for download. They're both free to download. They're both free to install. But Kjer is the one where you won't really be able to do too much without a license activation code. So the license activation code is available right above the download link for Kjer. Now, as far as HakPak just has a pro license. So there's a split in features. There's basic features that you can use straight off just from installing and downloading. And that is just the command line interface. The command line interface is free to use. It's basically still HakPak 3. HakPak4 is just additions that I made to it, like the script builder GUI that I mentioned to you guys previously. But let's check out Kjer first. I already have it downloaded, so I'll show you that the download link, it works. There you go. But I'm not going to use that download because I already have it ready. I have a demo version ready that I started and everything. And it's already registered to my dev key as well. Let's see if I can switch the window too. Okay, window. There we go. All right, boom. There we go. Cool. So here's the main dashboard. Once you guys get it installed, and you can install it simply by going to your downloads. You're going to look for the appropriate Kjer install file. It's available on Linux and Mac because they both run on. You can run Bash shell on both of them. So you can run it on Linux and Mac, and then of course there's also .ps1 for PowerShell commands as well. You can use PowerShell commands to install the Windows version of it as well. So that's what gives it the widespread availability. Bring Quinyon back in here.
Quick question.
Right, what's up?
This is my first time seeing this. Are you able to one sentence explain what this is?
So Kjer is it's a cybersecurity framework that it actually scans and defends your system. So it scans your network, it scans your operation system, finds out what tools and things you may have installed and things like that that may be, potentially be a risk or vulnerability to your system or to your network. And it actually implements different security tools according to your OS. It has OS detection and things like that to defend against said vulnerabilities and threats. So it's basically automated cybersecurity. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
No worries. No worries. But this is the dashboard that you'll get to once you actually get your activation key in there. Once you get your license key from the shop. In the shop, I'll show you guys the shop real quick too. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna switch the screen. You can go to PGSW shop, and you can go through the collections for the different licenses. Like right now, I have HakPak4 licenses in the collections. I have the Kjer licenses as well. You go to the HakPak4 collections, and you'll see the Pro license available. That's the only one that's available right now for HakPak4, because HakPak4 is the only HakPak4. There's no need to have like an industrial size version of it, because the command line interface version is free anyway. The script builder version is something that, like I said, is an add-on. So there's that. And then, of course, let's go back and check out the Kjer. Now, Kjer has multiple licenses, and that's because there's different tiers. Since it's cybersecurity, I kind of leveled out the tiers to like the amount of resources that you will need. Because in Kjer you'll have like you can connect devices that's already located on the network. It's not much of a security risk being able to secure things. So it'll sense whatever other devices, scan whatever devices are on the network, and you can run it and implement it on multiple devices. You can set profiles and things like that. And I'm gonna get more into that, but the different tiers is essentially allow you to do more, use more devices, set more profiles and things like that. So that's why it's labeled out so many different tiers. The personal, I believe, is about 3 devices. Home is like 5, 7, somewhere around there. Enterprise, that's 25 right now. My dev key gives me 25. So I get enterprise as my license key as a developer. You said what? Oh, okay, maybe you weren't talking to me. But anyways, so we also have the industrial tier, which goes up to like 100 devices for like a really big building, or multiple networks, multiple VLANs. So let's go back and actually take a look at those. Let me switch those screens. Give me 1 sec. Excuse me. So we're gonna head back here real quick. Now, when it comes down to using Kjer, once you get your activation key put in there, it's gonna run you through a tutorial. I don't have the tutorial going at the moment because, like I said, I already have my dev key initiated, so it knows it's me. I'm gonna put, where's the tutorial? There's a restart tutorial button in here. Boom. So this is the tutorial that should pop up once you activate your license key. It's gonna walk you through what Kjer is, of course, doing everything that I'm telling you right now. Just explaining the dashboard to you, explaining the toolbox, letting you know that the toolbox, you're gonna need the toolbox to even use it. If you don't have any tools in the toolbox, you're not gonna be able to defend your system the way that it would suggest that you do it. Be it that it has OS detection and all that type of stuff to it. So installation profiles, It'll explain the profiles and stuff to you. I'm gonna just kind of skip through it because I'm gonna explain all this stuff to you anyway. But I do want you guys to see that there's gonna be a tutorial included as well. So as soon as someone puts in their key, it'll actually have them initialize and continue, or they can skip tutorial so they don't initialize. Now, the initialization process is actually very, very important because that's where, okay, you're initialized successfully. That's where it's going to register your system. It's going to find out that I use Ubuntu. It's going to find out, we go to settings, and it's going to find out all this information, right? It's going to find out my, of course, the version that I'm using, of course, and then the amount of RAM, the amount of disk space that it's going to use, how many tools that I have available for this operation system, the kernel, like it gets into it. It lets you know the host name. It gets to know your system so that it can defend it efficiently, right? Now, once it's initialized, before you can actually run it, I already have tools installed, but once you first install Kjer, you're not gonna have any tools installed. So you're gonna have to go to the toolbox after you initialize your system. Go to the toolbox. You're gonna select which tools you want to install. This is the all menu, so it's gonna show all the tools available. Right now, like I said, it's 28 available. It's just a range of them, like for scanning and defense. So some of these tools are going to be used to scan your system, the network, your device, other devices, and then other tools are going to be used to actually defend against said threats and vulnerabilities. But that's essentially what it's all. It's an orchestration. It's an orchestration based on the operation system that you use, based on the file system you use, and what tools and things you already have installed, what you don't have installed, what type of like apps you use, stuff like that. It digs into all of that, so it can really make sure that you're making the best decisions possible. And you're gonna see why in a moment. But there's different filters for the toolbox. You have the install tools. These are the tools that I have installed. I have about, I want to say 15, 16 installed, something like that. There's the available tools, which are going to show the ones that I don't have installed, but they're actually compatible with my operation system. That's what the available tool filter shows. And then we have the top 5 and we have the top 20 as well. Now, the top 5 and the top 20 are going to show the top 5 best tools to do what we're doing for your operation system. So if you're using Windows, it's going to show the top 5 for Windows, or if there is even 5, it might be less than 5. You know what I'm saying? Like Windows Defender does a lot, so you might see just use Windows Defender up there. Cool, but it's going to use Windows Defender in the most efficient way based on the way you configure Kjer, right? So this is the toolbox. That's how you operate the toolbox. That's the next thing you're going to want to do after you initialize Kjer. Once it's initialized, you're going to want to get the right tools in there so you can go back to the dashboard and actually run your scan and defense. Now, the security activity monitor, that's where you're going to keep a live view of just what's going on as it happens. So once it uses a tool to say this tool is doing this, as you can see, Saracata service failed, Wireshark requires relevant permissions, but all of these things are going to run in the defense because those are like Wireshark has its own GUI and everything. Like it runs in a wrapper. Okay, I have a wrapper that Kjer has. HakPak has a wrapper as well. HakPak and Kjer function almost the same way in the command line version as well. So all of that is the same. It's just, you know, you click the number, type this number in to get into this menu, you know, just simple ABC stuff. And that's why I like to show the demos so much of my, show the GUI so much of my demos because, you know, I keep the CLI very simple, you know, just a very ABC 1, 2, 3. But as you can see, we got GVM service fail, but it'll run in the defense because that's like a full system that it'll use in the defense in the process of defending the operation system, defending your device, defending the network. And sometimes it takes a while. So it depends on how many threats you actually have. It depends on how many vulnerabilities you actually have on your system. If you have a lot, it's going to take a while because it's going to run a lot of tools to find them, and it's going to run a lot of tools to fix them. But while it's doing that, I want to go ahead and describe the network manager. The network manager is actually really powerful because it automates everything you need to make this industrial, to make this enterprise. You get what I'm saying? So, for example, I have enterprise. We're going to go ahead and scan network. I have my IPs hidden. Um, so that way I can show you guys just what it does. It actually finds the real devices. This is my actual network. And it'll show my laptop. You know what I mean? Show the IPs for my Xbox, the TV. I don't know. I really don't know what that is, but it Kjer does. You know what I mean? So I can add those devices in, and I can either select all of them and run scans individually and defenses individually. I can either run audits individually on these different devices once they're connected, or I can run it on all of them. And by audits, I mean compliance audits, right? Now, before I get into compliance, though, I want to show you guys the profiles really quick as well. The profiles page is where you can just, it's basically the presets. You pick which tools and things you want it to be in a profile, and you can install that profile on a connected device through the network page, this page here, and you can actually install that profile on that device and run it that way, run that security profile on that device. Okay, so that's what that is. And it comes with a few that are default. It comes with Linux Basic Defense, Linux Standard Security, Linux Enterprise. So just the different tools and things that people may see in these types of fields for at those levels. You know what I mean? And that's why I was really excited to have you guys help me out with the compliance part, as far as like showing me the new frameworks that I was having missing and things like that. That was very helpful, because you know that helped me adjust what profiles and things I need to put in there as well, right? So that's the profiles page. Then we got the compliance page. Okay, now the compliance page, this is brand new. This was not in the announcement video that I made for Kjer. I don't know if you guys might have seen it. I did post it in the group, but anybody that have seen that would know that this didn't exist a week ago, right? Now, as far as these the compliance page, this is where you can literally just follow the step-by-step guide to becoming or getting your device and your network compliant to whatever framework is listed below here, and even all of them if you want. I like to run the all frameworks because then I have a full view of everything, and then if you need to, you can export it as a text document, export it as JSON, or you could just rerun the audit and find out, you know, if anything was inaccurate or anything like that. You could test my word on it, see how good I really am at this stuff, right? But once you run that, right? Once you run this audit, it'll produce an action plan for you. It'll let you know what tools you need to install and run to actually, and it's of course it's ranked as well. So the number one tool that will help the most, closes 19 gaps, will be OS Query to fit all of the frameworks. Okay. Now, if I don't want to use all the frameworks, I don't have to. You can literally just pick which framework you want to work with, and it'll give you which tools to use and rank them by highest effectiveness, right? So you can install it here. Boom, install the tool. It'll take you straight to the tool. And it'll also give you a compliance score, right? A percentage to let you know just how compliant you are, and then let you know what you need to do to get it to 100% if need be. Okay. So you can literally set the configurations for your automation. Let it know what you need, and then have it run it, have it scan, have it run the defense, and it'll set everything the way it needs to be to meet your compliance goal and standard. And you can literally track it. You will literally see this percentage go up as you do it, as it happens. You refresh the page, check it out, see what tools have ran, see what tools have installed, and it'll, you know, the percentages will increase. As you can see, we got a couple that are already covered, right? These will literally become all good, all good, all good, all good. as you go, as the system goes, and as you further your reach toward the 100%. Now, status and logs, really simple. It's just a status and log that tells you exactly what's been going on, what pages you went to, what's been going on, like as far as the scan. It lets you know the scan picked up 5 threats. Switch to status tab, so that means it didn't run defense. Okay, it's not done. It's still running. It's running defense now. It just started running Kjer Smart Defense a couple seconds ago, about a minute ago. So it was still early in that scan. We're still early in that defense. Once the defense is done, we'll be able to actually print out a report, or we can actually click this monitor button right here and have it continuously do this every 5 minutes. Okay, so the monitor button just enables it to continuously scan and defend every 5 minutes autonomously without you having to get involved. And of course, as you increase your compliance level, as you get more and more compliant with these different frameworks, it's only going to be more secure when you do the scan. It's only going to be more secure once you run your defenses. It's going to implement all these different logics, all these different frameworks. So that's Kjer. Here's the settings. We got Kjer application updates. You can check for updates. I do have a separate online database that everyone's able to draw the updates from. So as I make the updates, I'll send it to that. Well, it's not even a database, it's a repository. I send it to that repository, and the updates will send to you guys as users. And you'll be able to get a notification. It'll let you know, hey, there's an update. Click the updates, get the update, and it'll change your system from there. So you can check for updates with that button. You can view tool documentations as well. If you just want to find out what they do, like if you're confused about what's running, if you see something running, you're like, what does that do? Why is that important? Why does it take so long? Right? You could just check the manual documentation. You got enable auto refresh. You can turn that off. That will effectively disable the monitor as well. Like you'll be turning that off. Then of course you got enable notifications. You can turn the notifications off, the little pop-ups that pop up right here. And then of course we got a light mode on top of our dark mode for the people that like to have a bright screen. We got passwordless installs because it does get into your OS. So like anybody that uses Linux knows you got to use like some of these actions that it's taking. It requires you to be a sudoer. Setting up passwordless installs makes it so you don't have to put it in for yourself. Like you could it's going to do it by itself. And it honestly, I set it to where it's going to run that way anyway. So I guess you really could just turn it off essentially, but it's going to run that way anyway. Advanced options, clear cache. That means just literally start from fresh again. Export settings. I made it so you can export your settings. So if something bad happens, your laptop breaks or something like that, as long as you have a copy of the way you have your settings, you should be able to put the settings that you have back on another. Let's say you get another installment, you have to buy it again for another device or something. You can literally just upload your settings from the previous configurations, like your profiles and all that good stuff. So you can save all that and save it externally. And then of course you got the license and tier management info. So that's where you can review your license information and you can change your license. You can re-enter your key and get a higher license if you need it, or a lower license if you want, whatever floats your boat. Okay. That is Kjer. Do you guys have any questions about Kjer before I move on to HakPak?
I'm good so far.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a lot, but it's good.
It is a lot. It is a lot, man. Like, you see why I was like, look, I got to get somebody. I got to be talking to somebody. If I'm not talking to somebody, then I'm going to feel like I'm just rambling. You know what I'm saying?
I put in the chat, but I definitely think it's something.
When they disconnect, turn the volume down.
because I seen I think ARPA-H just gave out like an $8 million grant to create something like this. So I feel like it's definitely a need for it. So I say continue building it and perfect it.
And speaking of that, not just with the grants, I would say potentially target the universities. Speaking to someone in academics, they give crap tons of money away for stuff like this. Like, and I mean like the grants, government funding, because a lot of what we do on the academic side translates to like what the military and the government is doing as well. We kind of got to be on the same page with a lot of stuff. So like something with what you're building will go over very well on the academic side as far as protecting a crap ton of data. If you think about how many kids and faculty are funneling in and out of a school system at any given time. So I mean that's definitely a huge use case there for them.
That's fair. I didn't even think about that. I didn't really want to. I haven't really put too many like specific markers behind this. I tried to make it as general as possible, so it's like whoever sees it can find their own kind of, you know what I'm saying? So like that's.
Oh no, it makes
really
sense. It's just it sparked when I was like working in academics. It's like they're always looking for protection because they don't just deal with one type of compliance. I mean, it really depends on what each school does. If you have a medical school, a law school on campus, if you're like with us, sports performance, where we kind of fall into a lot of different lanes where the compliance we have to fall under is completely different. Like everything I deal with has to be HIPAA compliant because we're dealing with like ACL rehab and injury and concussion and all that comes into play. Then you got like our cyber team or they dealing with all types of stuff like on the financial side with so like this can cover, like I said, a lot like at a big university, which is huge.
I appreciate that. I'm definitely gonna look into what type of like you said they have grants for it.
Yeah, I think what Q was talking about. Yeah, dude, grant money out there. That so like what Q was talking about, not that specific grant, but like that's kind of why I transitioned more out of corporate America into the academic world because connecting with the right people. Like we got a guy here, Dr. Kiefer. He works with me on a lot of the stuff I do. He had like an average right now of getting funded 20% of the time. Like 9 times, like if he submits a grant with his name on it, it's getting funded. So like it's extremely helpful for me because he'll quote unquote co-author a grant just to help me get it funded. You know what I mean? Like, and that way my name gets out there. I've got a reputation. Now I can just co-fund stuff myself. I can just run it myself, submit my name with something and not even have to worry about it. But yeah, like grant money is big. I mean, if you want to go the startup route, Y Combinator is out there as well. I mean, everybody's always looking for security. And if you can, spin an AI twist to it, then yeah, they'll throw a bag at you. Just for
that's funny. I actually added that to HakPak, but I didn't really I didn't add like a specific agent or anything because I just don't trust things running locally that way. Like
I got you.
You know what I mean? Like, so I if I can find a way to like perhaps update the API that I have for that in the back end for each user, then cool. But like I don't know any safe way to do that. You know what I'm saying?
The safest way, it would take a little bit of work. Don't worry about using any standard LLM model. You would basically create the training algorithm that connects to like, let's just say like a basic tiny llama. Like you go on Hugging Face or Kaggle or something like that. You take one of those small models, you bypass the guardrails, and because it has no access to the internet, they can't use it, right, to train their models. So you take that model, you write a baseline algorithm that whatever data that it feeds it is training. So it's kind of in a container, like a Docker container, basically, where it's your personalized LLM designed for your project and your build, only trained on the information that's coming in. And that way you don't have to be like, I'm worried about OpenAI, I'm worried about Anthropic, I'm worried about Gemini. You basically take a pre-existing model and you mold it into what you want. And that's usually the safest route. Like that's what we're doing with one of our tools. We just took a local model that's out there on Kaggle and Hugging Face. removed the guardrails, trained it how we needed to, put in new guardrails for it, and then it runs on the back end of our Recover IQ platform.
Guardrails.
Yeah,
I haven't even thought
basically,
about it that way. I just made a cognitive engine. Like I took a bunch of APIs and was like, this is how you process this information. You get what I'm saying? Like I didn't really.
Yeah, that's where my expertise lives in, like with school is, all right, how do I manipulate the LLM? Like how do I train it? How do I build it? How do I get it to do what it needs to do, add the guardrail so it doesn't who is it? Chipotle. Their LLM was answering coding questions and it went viral for it. Yeah. Wow. Sounds cool, but it shouldn't be doing that.
Right. Nah, seriously.
You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. So like that's where my specialty is. So yeah, something like that. Get your own private LLM. Like you don't gotta worry about OpenAI or Anthropic or anybody.
So like I said, there's something like that on HakPak right now. Like HakPak has that. So I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. And that's that advisor button right here. Like okay. I'm gonna show you how that works, and then you can let me know just how you can let me know the quality on it. Cause I mean, that was kind of a throw-in. Like I wasn't planning to do that, but I just wanted to give something, at least something light, give people at least something light that they can use to be like, give me an idea. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just let me, because it's all of this is completely, it's giving people the ability to build. So all right, let me explain it fully. So first of all, HakPak itself, it started as just a Kali Linux tool installer and dependency handler, because that can just be a pain in the ass. Installing different Kali tools, using Git clone, that can all be a pain in the ass if you don't know what you're doing. So I kind of like eliminated those spaces of like you having to do too much more research than you already have to do, and putting in too many extra commands that you just don't have to put the footwork anymore. You don't have to put the handwork anymore. You could just install HakPak. Let me show you guys the GUI. Or the CLI. I haven't showed you guys the CLI. I've made other videos showing people the CLI though. So like that's what I'm saying. You guys are new, but like anybody that has already seen the videos that I produced, they might already know, like, all right, I've seen the command line interface. He's explained that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna show you guys the command line interface too. It's very simple, very ABC, but it'll give you a good idea of what exactly HakPak started as, because that's this GUI that I built. The script builder GUI is brand new. I just added that. Like that's the new thing that made it HakPak4 versus HakPak3. So let me show you guys my terminal. Let me see what that looks like. Okay, is the only thing you see the terminal? Okay, cool. So let's get out of the GUI real quick. As you can see, I typed in HakPak4. It says this is version 4, but the header still says HakPak3. And that's because literally the CLI is still HakPak3. The GUI is HakPak4, right? Is what makes it HakPak4. Now, as far as this GUI on HakPak3, it's just, like I said, it was just a tool installer, a Kali Linux tool installer. So you'll be able to use any of the Kali Linux tools on any Linux distribution without having to do too much of the handwork behind it. You just install it, pick which tool you want to install, which one's the most effective and stuff like that, just like you've seen in the Kjer GUI. But let's go to list tools, your choice one, list tools. Now we're in the list tools menu. We're going to check out install tools. So that's one. The tools I have installed right now are, that is cat. I have a lot of tools installed. I'm not sure why it's like that. Hold on one second. That's embarrassing. Because I definitely have tools installed. I have a lot of tools installed. And you'll see that once, like when I pull up the GUI, you can see I have tools installed. So I'm not sure why the CLI didn't update that well. I'll have to get that dragged over. But either way, like this is really how simple this CLI is. It's just really, like I said, you pick the number of the menu you want to go to. It'll take you through the menu. And 0 to go back to the main menu, 0 to get out. So I tried not to explain too much about the CLI because it's just that simple. You just read it and go through the menu. Now, as far as the script builder, okay, I'll put GUI. I changed it to script. It used to be GUI, just like HakPak. HakPak actually came from Kjer came from HakPak. I came up with the idea of Kjer from working on HakPak. And I was like, well, if I have all these offensive tools that people are probably going to get me in trouble for if I don't protect myself, I should probably make a defensive version too. And that's when I started working on Kjer. So that's why Kjer is version 1 and HakPak's on version 4. But let's get back to the script builder real quick. I'm gonna show you guys how the script builder works. I think I have 2 open now. Okay, cool. So that's the one you're looking at now. Just real quick, I want to have you guys understand why this is popping up. This usually wouldn't pop up if it was like your system. The only reason it's popping up is because I have repositories and installed on my system that were installed prior to me even having HakPak installed. And HakPak has a feature in it that actually scans Git repositories prior to you installing it via HakPak. Okay. So being that I already have these installed, it like scans them and like pops up this notification like, hey, these are the different risks of having this installed on your system. It has a basic, risk detection, threat detection over Git repositories because there's a little Git button right here. And that's basically Git clone. It's Git clone added to HakPak so you can install it and use it as a block in the plane. Now I'm going to show you guys the plane in a moment. I just wanted to make sure you guys understood what you were looking at. Right now I have Black Eye installed. It has 19 high risk features to it. Sherlock does. I got Sherlock and then Hack Roadmap. Hack a Roadmap is literally it's like a book. So it's really not that much of a threat, but that lets you know that the threat detector is actually still like it's looking at everything and it's paying attention. You know what I mean? Now, I'm going to skip over that because I know there's a few tweaks I want to make to it. That it does work fully. There's nothing wrong with it, but I do want to make a few tweaks to it to make it function at like a whole nother level. And I'm not going to divulge that information yet. It's classified right now. Okay. That's going to be on the next update. All right. But anyways, here's my tools, right? Here you can see the tools that I have installed via HakPak. Like these tools I installed via HakPak. I didn't go one by one and like Git clone them or anything like that. And if I did, they would be down here in the Git repos. Anyway, but these are the tools I have installed using HakPak. I don't know why I didn't show it in the CLI. I probably need to just readjust the backend for that a little bit, but these are the tools that I have installed via HakPak, and I can use these as blocks in this plane here. You turn the grid on just to give you guys an idea of what this actually is. I don't like to keep the grid on. Some people do. Have at it. Now, but there's different features that you have in here too. So let's do something simple just so you guys have an idea. So let's add a variable. The variable can be your target, right? Like an IP address, it can be a URL or whatever it may be. It's going to be your target, okay? Now, let's say I wanted to do nmap. Let's start with nmap. Nmap is a really good example command. You know what I mean? It's a really good example tool. But let's say I click nmap. Now we got an nmap block in there in our plane that we can use on our variable, right? But let's go ahead and edit it first. So we're going to click on this nmap block and we'll be able to actually go in here and we can pick the use case and it will plug in the rest of the options and arguments for you based on what's there. Now, not all of the tools do that. Only nmap so far that I know of does that. I have not went through each tool. I have a few tools installed. I did not go in each one and look at their block editor menu. But all tools do have a block editor menu. And the block editor menu is where you're going to be putting most of your configurations for you to be able to use these tools effectively and connect them and all that good stuff, right? Now, as you can see, there's also a connect button. So let's say we have our variable in there, right? We have our IP in there. That's not my IP. Nice try. But no, I'm just kidding. So that is where you will put in that value, though. You'll put in whatever your target would be, and whether it's a URL, IP, whatever it may be, and you will do connect. Click the first tool, click the second one, boom, and now you're going to manage your connection between the two. So in map to the variable that you created, whatever you name it, you're going to explain the connection. So this is for you. This is just to have notes on what the connection is and what it's going to do. And then, of course, for the connection, you got the different output types as well. So you capture your output into a variable. You can put conditions in there, or you can just make it a custom code bridge, whatever you want to do, right? And then you just explain it in the, you describe it in the breakdown in the about section, and then write your code in there. Okay. So that's how the connections work. As far as using a tool on a different, on a variable, on a target, but you can also tool chain. You can, like, let's say I got Nmap up there, and just for the sake of not wanting to read through a tool and find a tool to use, I'm just going to put ARPScan. Let's use ARPScan. We're going to add ARPScan in there. You can also chain the tools, right? So you can connect a tool to a tool. Boom, a tool, wait, my bad. A tool to a tool. Can, describe your connection, make sure the system understands what you're doing. And, let's say you put a Python connection between the two. My bad, let me turn connect off. Put Python between it, connect to the Python, and then write in this Python code to say what you want to do with the output from the Nmap scan, right? You take the output from the Nmap scan, you can have it create a new variable, and then put that variable between there, and then put the code to say, hey, with this variable, do this, blah, 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 blah. Like whatever your mind desires, right? That's the purpose of this plane. I'm giving you the capability to visualize your scripts. Okay, visualize your scripts, automate your scan, your tools, and create your own workflow. That's the ability that I want to give everybody, the capability that I want to give everybody. And I want to make it fun and interactive. And if there's anything that I think to add on later on, I'm going to do that, right? But like as of right now, for example, since these Git repos are not accepted because they're so high risk, I'm not able to add them as blocks. But once I get them accepted and everything is good with that, I'll be able to add them as blocks as well in my plane, right? In my in my plane. I call it my plane. But that is how you use the script builder. That is the paid addition to HakPak that created HakPak4 from HakPak3. Okay. HakPak3, like I said, was just a tool installer. HakPak4 adds a script builder to it that lets you build and create whatever you need. You can test your as you can see, it doesn't really make sense what we have up there right now because we didn't make the connections. We just didn't update the Python code. So it's not going to work right now. It's letting us know that scripts checks found issues. Syntax is okay for bash, but shell check is saying that there's a command name that starts with equals. But it goes through the script and finds out where your errors might be. And for it to be able to get exported from this export button, it would have to pass that test. It would have to be proven to be working and not, harmful or just end up doing nothing. And even if it does, like if it doesn't do what, if it doesn't reach the desired end from the testing, you can still export it, but it's going to let you know, like, hey, this isn't done. It's not, you're going to run into an issue here. It's not going to give you the desired result. it'll let you know before it lets you export it. But that's something I would always recommend. You could also preview it so you can look at just how the script will be formatted, like how it will be written out. And you could also see if there's going to be any issues in there too, if you really understand what you're doing already. This is a little bit more advanced, so this is for people that would know what they're doing, essentially. Kjer is a little bit easier because you just click the button and install the tools, click the button. Anybody can do that. But this, you got to actually have an idea of what you want to do, what you want to build, and you got to know what it looks like, right? But there's also the advisor, right? So we have the advisor. You can put a prompt in here. I actually haven't tested this, so we're gonna test it together. I have tested it, like meaning I've gotten output, but I haven't done what it was suggesting. Yeah, I didn't take it that far. I was like, all right, cool, it works. But let me remove these real quick and clean up some. So let's check out advisor. I want to build a script that scans open ports on my network. Planner mode. So this is what I was mentioning to you earlier. It has like the LLM if it's available option, meaning it'll pick up like I can't even remember. I think it's just Olama, but yeah, I think it's just Olama anyway. So the auto is only going to pick Olama. It's not going to pick anywhere else. That's the only one that I have that you can get locally. And then of course heuristic, which is like completely local. It's like it's just going to go by what it knows. Let's see. Apply to canvas. Suggest plan. Suggestions ready. Planner mode. Heuristic. So we must not have been able to connect to the Olama. Let's see. Suggest plan. Let's try that again. Olama not installed. All right, cool. So Olama's not even installed. So that's why it's going back to the heuristic. But I'm gonna install. Okay. I'm not sure why, but I can install Olama right now. But the heuristic mode, it says use Nmap, use MassScan, use NatCat, use Nikto, use DNS Recon. These are different tools, and these are the best, use cases for them, right? This is what it is. This is what you're gonna want to use, and you can apply them to Canvas. And now we have NetCat, MassScan, Nmap, and a bunch of variables. Port. Oh man, this is dangerous. Oh man, tells you exactly what to do, puts it up there, and then lets you configure the block editor to do whatever you need, make any configurations you guys need. So that's HakPak, man. That's HakPak4. All right, I'm not even gonna say that's HakPak because you see more HakPak4 than you see HakPak3. All right. Do you guys have any questions about any of this that you've seen? I'm open to hear any suggestions. I'm hoping to hear feedback. What you got for me?
I'd say overall it looks good.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate that.
No, good. Well
structured.
Yeah,
I think there's definitely a big market for this, just on the consumer side, and also again with just organizations that need this.
For sure. I just knew it'd make it easier for me. You know what I'm saying? It makes it more interesting because like once I learned the command line, I was like, all right, well, this definitely opens up a world for me because now I understand how to write scripts. I know how to do this. I know how to make a file and do this that way. And like it's like now, since I'm someone that can also write code and build apps, it's like, all right, let me find ways to just make this more fun for myself. And I just knew Well, I didn't know for sure, but I wanted to make sure I connected with some guys like you guys so I can like really find out just how valuable this could be to anybody, or if just how often things like this are being shipped. Because I don't see it. You know what I mean? Even when I do my market analysis, sometimes I'll do market analysis with other other professionals. But I'll also use ChatGPT. I'll talk to Claude. I'll talk to different LLMs just to get an idea of like just how common something like this really is. How many people are actually working on things like this? And I enjoy doing it. So I just keep going until I feel like, all right, I can get this ship at least. And then, if there's anything that is wrong, I can get it. There'll be small issues, nothing big. Everybody gets the big picture. All the bigger, capabilities and features are working. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, I appreciate that. Thank you for that feedback. Anybody else got anything else? Don't be afraid to tear into me too, man. I'm you know what I'm saying? Like I take criticism very well. Like you'll see that as I'll start like working on it again. You're like, all right, so he did listen. You know what I mean?
What's your pricing gonna be?
So the pricing, let's go back to, we can go to the shop for that. All right. So for the HakPak Pro license, the Pro license is when it enables people to even be able to access the script builder and do all that good stuff. You got to put your activation key and even be able to access it. That's $139.99, but that is yearly. I'm doing annual licenses just to give it to them for the whole year. And only because I don't really need tiers for this. I'm just unlocking something. Now, as far as Kjer is a little different because Kjer is security. It has a very it takes less thinking, first of all. And even if you do a lot of thinking and you have a lot of standards, it's still plug and play. It's still one click, two click, you know.
Have you considered selling this to an MSSP?
Not specifically because I didn't realize how many there were.
Yeah,
It is an explosion going on.
Yeah,
Like I didn't realize that there were so many. I didn't know.
Oh yeah.
So an MSP would want it, and an MSSP would want it also.
Yeah, and I'm glad I've joined the group with you guys and actually had these discussions because I would not know things like this. I'm so busy working on like I'm looking at the minute details to build something big. So like it's good to get those, like to me that's a big idea. You get what I'm saying? Like when you brought up the what was it, the 171 and the 53 frameworks, I was like, that's missing. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't even know it was missing. So like that, I'm very grateful for the fact that I was able to get in the group with you guys and talk about this stuff. And as far as the pricing though, just so there's full clarification, like I'm pretty sure I mentioned it, but even like each license for Kjer is just more it's just more bandwidth. It's just more broadcast. You can just use more devices. You can create more profiles than someone who has the personal. You get what I'm saying?
Where are you hosting this?
So the server's through Railway right now, but once I actually start getting users and getting licenses sold, I'm gonna upgrade it. Right now I'm just using Railway because it works, and I just want to make sure that the backend logic is all fluent. And I have
what's the seat limit on each of these?
Are
Or
I
have
would
you
have to
set them
go.
yet?
Like I don't know off the top of my head. I would have to go into the documentation.
So I would say to help from a sales, I'm looking at it from a VC sales perspective. A few things you got to make it. It's taking too long to find the pricing.
Right.
So like if I come across your site, go back to the pricing page, like where you were just at before you scroll to it.
This
Yeah,
one?
he's got to get
Not
that call
the
to
other
action
one.
really quick.
Right. So like not that one. I think it's the second one. Wherever you had to officially start. All right, now go to where is the home page? Not this
one.
page.
Oh, you talking about my website?
Yeah, let's go to your website. So I always tell people like we used to do in sales, look at the bar. If you have to go more than 25% of the way down to find the pricing, most people aren't going to stick around. It's just a microwave mindset. If I got to go through a bunch of information, it's like, all right, how much is this? It's yes. And it's not anything you're doing or a person does. In our head, it's like, man, are they hiding the pricing from me? Like, the longer something takes, people start to come up with negative ideas. So if it takes too long to get to the pricing, that becomes a problem. You'll lose people from that. Yeah.
Because telcos or people that's got any enterprise software, you can immediately tell in less than 30 seconds, okay, am I paying for something? And if so, how much is it? Or no, you're gonna make me keep scrolling and keep scrolling and keep scrolling, and I never see the cost. Okay, I know it's enterprise and it's probably expensive as hell, and it's telling me without telling me.
Yeah, right. So I would probably add a section at the top so you can go directly to. That way, everything's not in your library.
I get what you're saying.
The library looks good, but from a SaaS outlook, it looks
maybe add a shop nav button, like put shop up here that leads straight to the shop.
Something around the. So right now it looks more so like documentation, like an IT person looking for documentation on something.
Yes.
Versus me as a business owner or a sales exec coming to purchase something.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You see what I mean? Like from a technical standpoint, I love it. But when I go to corporate all right, it's time to sell and buy stuff. You see, like we haven't gotten to what we need yet.
You have to convey.
Look how far you have to go down to get to your pricing point.
Really quick, because otherwise you're just gonna lose everybody.
Right. Yeah. Because look how far down you've gotten. You had to go, and then keep going.
Should I put it at the top?
Alternative.
So not just that, it should have its own. So I would say the library section is too long. Like
okay.
Because the average person isn't going to go through the entire page. Like they're not going to go through every page, but you could have more tabs. Or I mean, if this is going to be the landing page for the business, like, hey, this is where you go to learn about it. Kind of got to figure out, is this going to be a sales focused site where it's like, all right, this is where they're coming. The hot points of what this does, couple buttons to lead them to demos throughout. So it's constantly on their mind after they see like, what this does, how this can impact their industry, book a demo. What this does, book a demo. Find out pricing, because that's one of those things like you'll notice HubSpot, Salesforce, like certain companies do really good job at leading you somewhere. So think of it like that as well. My website has to tell a story. When I'm a SaaS, I want to lead you to either I need to lead you to a demo, because with the price point, they're going to want to see it in action. Yeah. So like you're supposed to be leading someone into a demo more than anything. Because right now it reads technical, which is fine. But from the average user, man, technical. They're like, all right, what everybody kept asking, like 1 to 2 sentences, what is this? Because that's your elevator pitch. Like if I bump into you at a conference and you're like, hey, I want to tell you about X, Y, and Z. I mean, you got 20, 30 seconds to tell me about it before like my mind starts to wander and I want to go to the bar.
Streaming consciousness, you can never sell yourself short. Make sure everything's smooth and aligned, Yeah.